Alright, it's been a long time since my last actual video for reasons I won't bore you to death with. Time seems to slip away from us far too often, myself especially, given that my last proper upload outside of speedruns was months ago. But I'm back, and so is some new Monster Hunter action. I also admittedly like hanging out with y'all far too much over on Twitch, and suck at editing. Oh, by the way, go follow me on Twitch. When I do decide to edit my own videos, it just takes me forever. So say hi to my editor in the comments and let them know you like their face or something. I don't know. Anywho, you guys are here for Monster Hunter. I'm here to talk Monster Hunter with y'all, so let's get into it. In today's video, I will be giving you my honest initial impressions of my first day's experience of Monster Hunter Rise's expansion, Sunbreak, from my usual perspective of a hunting horn and bowgunner main that also tends to usually play wide range. I originally intended to give you all optimal loadouts to prepare you guys for Sunbreak, but see previous statement about time and losing track of it all as to where that went. I will still at some point either this week or next week start dropping the optimal support build guides for you. We'll just be adding in some early game additions from Sunbreak, and then following those videos we'll be dropping in some late game into end game additions as well to finalize the builds until we start getting additional content from Capcom. Today's video will try to be relatively spoiler-free, only going up to about MR2, but there will be spoilers towards the end of the video. You have been warned. Oh, and if you haven't picked up Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak just yet, or want to grab a copy for a friend, whether it be on Switch or PC, you can actually do so and support the channel while also raising money for charity at the same time. How, you may ask? Well, that's through our partners over at Humble Bundle. They also have great deals on other Switch and PC titles as well, and again, more of the money that you spend towards the video game itself actually gets donated to charity and helps support your boy over here as a content creator. So if you want to check them out, I will leave the links down below in the description, and thank you so much for your continued support. So where do I begin without sounding like I'm just absolutely gushing and fangirling over here through rose-tinted glasses like most of us do when a new Capcom title drops? You know what? F it. I'm gonna do it anyways. Sunbreak is absolutely amazing so far, for many reasons, but I'm just gonna kind of have a bit of a talking heads video. We're gonna leave the editing on the light side so I can ramble as much as possible without having to be super organized, because y'all know I'm absolutely f***ing terrible at it. If I were to put this game so far, mind you, we're speaking in terms of only up to Master Rank 2 at the moment. Haven't even gotten through the campaign. This is just an absolute nostalgia bomb with a fresh coat of paint and some extra spice thrown in for everybody from the Nintendo era of Monster Hunter to us OG hunters back when we weren't even allowed to press a button to swing our weapon. Shout out to all my hunters that started on Monster Hunter 1, by the way. Moving on. But yeah, no, we're going to take this quick segment here to really appreciate the jungle map, which, by the way, was introduced in Monster Hunter 2, which some of y'all probably don't even know was an actual game, yet alone have had the opportunity to play it. So when you're finished this video, please go in the search bar and look up Monster Hunter 2, which, by comparison to today, obviously could barely hold a candle in terms of graphical fidelity, but yet alone just like the sheer breadth of the map. The jungle really feels massive by comparison to any of the maps that I've played on so far in Rise. And really, I think that's because of all the options for great wire bugs, but also I found on the jungle map specifically, there were a lot less scenarios where there were multiple large monsters in the area and it just turned into a clusterfuck and a half of us getting juggled and us not really being able to see what was going on. There was enough space for all the activities to happen. And speaking of activities and having all the space for them, can we talk about how limited we were in armor loadouts in Rise? I mean, endgame, there were like 2 sets to go for. You had Teo Valstrax or Valstrax. That was pretty much it. And it was frustrating. Not only that, but what was especially frustrating for me, as you guys know, I like playing wide range. I like playing a support hunter, but I also like still maximizing the amount of damage I can possibly deal with that loadout. and there was no space, mainly because we got nerfed to high hell as support hunters with both speed eating and wide range being tier 2 decoration slots, and us only having access to maybe like 2 or 3 of those tier 2 decoration slots that we could actually play around with, unless you sold your firstborn child to Capcom or spent, I don't know, maybe 300 plus hours farming decent talismans. Which is gonna sound like an excuse as to why I didn't do the support build guides for base game Rise, but it was disheartening, and I kinda gave up on the project, truth be told, because I did the math and there was way too much damage left on the table for me to recommend to any of you to play wide range in base game. It would have literally just been 2 minutes per video of me saying, don't build wide range, just use Dust of Life and life powders. That's how you're going to support your homies, and go grab the SQ or go when you can. That being said, I won't show any of the armor directly here. You might see some of it in the background footage, but let's just say the new armor, 42,869 out of 10 compared to base game. And as a side note, I have a small clip from a fellow Monster Hunter content creator who you should definitely check out. I'll link him over in the description, but here's a brief rant about one of the things that he loves about the latest update to Rise.
Also, care to share your favorite addition to Rise that you've seen in a 15-second review of your experience? Locking talismans. Freaking locking talismans. And Riseborn wasn't even out yet. Like, freaking, that was the dumbest thing I've ever had to freaking suffer for.
And I would certainly have to agree with him there. For me, I've never accidentally deleted a god roll talisman or even a good one, but just having that little lock icon that lets me know, hey, that's the good one, we can trash or meld all this other BS in here, has been awesome. The next big thing I really wanted to talk about here that's been a change since Sunbreak released is our ability to change our switch skills in the middle of combat. Now, I've really only played around with this with Hunting Horn so far, so let me know in the comments how you've been using it with your favorite weapon, but I've loved being able to essentially swap roles in the middle of a hunt, or even just for a moment change up my utility in that hunt. For example, my current loadout is I use Bead of Resonance and all of my heavy KO moves on one switch skill loadout, and then your typical, hey, speed run, go, 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 do fast, big number, all damage on the other. So if my party's really getting knocked around by a monster, I can switch up over to the Bead of Resonance loadout, drop a Bead of Resonance on one side of the monster, I flip over to the other, and really start hammering away to try to get an easy KO so we can get some extra breathing room, and then I can swap back to damage and we can try to finish it off. And I'm imagining what I'm going to start doing this week for bow guns in particular is having one loadout with a bunch of high mobility for a fight like Seregios, where he's just all over the place and is really difficult for me personally to dodge. You guys might have this issue. I never said I was good at hunting monsters. I just like it. And then another loadout that is strictly revolved around being in the monster's face, tackling with heavy bowgun, or all the heavy vault moves that drop the wyvern mines as you're doing them for the light bowgun. But again, please, for any other weapon, if you guys play bow, gun lance, especially lance, I do know nothing about playing lance and Rise, let me know how you're using the switch skill change in Sunbreak, because I'm going to need all the help I can to figure out the best way for me to use them for the other 11 weapons that I don't really play, but would like to give them a try. Anywho, I gotta go get back to hunting monsters and catching up to wherever y'all are in the campaign before the next 3 videos I drop are irrelevant, because I've taken too long. So big shout outs to the editor. Y'all better be giving them some love in the comments, because they're the reason why I'm going to be able to keep doing this for you guys. And shout outs to y'all for giving me some love to be able to pay them accordingly so that they can do this for us. Make sure you guys spread that love around though. Go check out Taik and Roos that you saw earlier in the video. And also make sure you guys go check out the next person that we're about to see. My man Peanut, can you send us off? Give us your thoughts on Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. And may the gods be with you all. Skull.
Great game. Good game. Skills. I haven't really unlocked everything yet, but I'm about to in a bit. So yes. It's great. It's good. A lot of monsters you're gonna like. A lot of things you're gonna see. Why haven't you played the game yet?